Konnichiwa everyone. Welcome back for another whiskey review. Today looking at this blended malt from Japan. Now, as I'm recording this review, actually trying to remember if I've ever reviewed a Japanese whiskey, and I think the answer might be no, which is probably a bit sad, but also shows how often I drink Japanese whiskey, which is hardly ever. It's not a daily dram situation for me. I do have probably 7 or 8 Japanese single malts or blends open at any given time, but I tend to drink them on very special occasion or use them for very, very special tastings. This one in particular, I opened for a tasting maybe over 2 years ago, and we tried just a little bit of it, but it's been sitting in the cupboard ever since, so I thought it'd be a good time to bring it back out. This one is the Suntory Special Reserve, a blended malt made with whiskies that have come out of the Yamazaki Distillery. All of the stuff at the back is in Japanese, which unfortunately I can't read, but I looked it up online. Haven't seen it for sale in New Zealand in particular for a very, very long time. I haven't seen it here for at least for 18 months. And when it was available, it was around 109 New Zealand dollars, which might be around 50 pounds. Not sure what's in US dollars. But the Japanese blends, they can be a bit confusing, obviously, because for the untrained eye, or if you're not all that familiar with the Japanese distilleries, there's any number of what seems to be Japanese whiskies being put out. But this one, I know for a fact, has come from a good home because I've been to Yamazaki and it's just a fantastic distillery. It'd be a good journey for me to revisit this particular blend because I tried it over 2 years ago, and it'd be really, really good to see what it's all about. Let's find out what's it like on the nose. One thing that I find very peculiar, especially with Japanese whiskies, be the blends or the malts, is the plastic screw top lids. Have never seen a cork on Japanese bottles. I'm not sure why. Maybe they're not very good friends with people in Portugal and they won't give them the cork, or if there's any other particular reason. If you know that reason, please leave that in the comments. I would actually love to know why Japanese whiskey bottles in particular have the screw top plastic caps instead of cork. I really like the cork. I think it's brilliant. Right, let's see what's it like on the nose. Ooh, sweet. There's freshness and sweetness straight away, just how I remembered it. There is the slightest hint of some sherry influence in the blend. Now, I didn't research all that hard, but I generally don't know what sort of barrel's been used or age statement at all. But there is just the slightest hint of sherry goodness. I was hoping, or kind of half expecting, honey and vanilla, which would have hinted more towards the bourbon cask, but it's good to get that sort of raisin and very slightest hint of cinnamon on the nose. Quite good. Maybe just a little hint of ripe plums and just a little bit of oak, but very pleasant on the nose. Very, very refined whiskey. Not really finding much oak at all. Is that slightest hint? But you can tell it's a young whiskey. I mean, it is a Japanese blend, and when I did try to research it a little bit before, it was indicating all sorts of retail price now, right up to £200, which is outrageous. Because it is a blend, and I think it's a young blend, but on the nose, it's actually quite appealing. Very, very nice. In the Scottish whiskey terms, I would probably liken it to maybe an Aberlour 12, or maybe a young Glenfarclas 10 or 12-year-old. You know, there's just a slightest hint of sherry, but it's not overpowering, and you can tell it's a young whiskey. All right. Oh, there's just a hint of honey there. Nice. Well, let's see what's it like on the palate. Now I have forgotten, I've been to Japan, I've forgotten the term we use for when we are sharing, but I'll just say cheers, I guess. I did remember konnichiwa. Beautiful nose, actually, so good. So on the palate as well, the slightest hint of pepper and cinnamon is there, but it's very light and delicate. The flavors are not overpowering by any imagination. Very sweet. Yeah, sweet as well. Quite good. There's definitely some Sherry Cask aged whiskey in there. I'm getting it in good dose on the nose and on the palate now. It's kind of actually expecting a little bit more of the sweetness. Nice. Maybe just a little bit more of the caramel now. But overall, absolutely easy to drink. You could gift it to someone who is not particularly into whiskey. There's nothing in there that would disappoint them or overpower the palate by any imagination. More spice, good. Quite good. Well, it's been such a long time since I last tried it. And when I did try it, that was amongst 5 or 6 other Japanese whiskey. So, very, very nice. But I'm just going to add a little bit more of the whiskey. But I was just going to add a couple of drops of water to the whiskey just to see what happens. It is bottled at, we don't know what's it bottled at. It's bottled at 40%. Amongst all the beautiful symbols and Japanese language stuff, there's a bold 40% at the back. So 40% whiskey, ideally you wouldn't really need to add water in there. But I just wanted to add just a tiny amount of water to it to see what happens with the whiskey. Ooh, a lot more floral on the nose. Now it's giving me a distinct mandarin-like character, which you find in one of my particular Scotch whiskies that I like, Oban. Ooh, a lot more floral. Maybe just a hint of citrus. It's quite nice. And I mean, maybe I'll leave that comment for the last. Let's see what's it like on the palate after the water. It's gone very soft. The water has absolutely killed the spice. A lot more of the sort of light honeyed sweetness now, and the spice that I was getting before, the pepperiness, is completely gone with the addition of the water. But really, really nice overall. And I mean, if it was available again for 100 Kiwi dollars, I would gladly start drinking it more rapidly. But unfortunately, A, it's not available, and it scared the hell out of me that it is retailing for up to £200. That's 400 Kiwi dollars. That gets you a single cask Benriach, cask strength sherry, single cask. Yeah, but very, very interesting. Really enjoyed it. Great that I brought it back out and tried it again. And I might just add it back to my circulation and maybe keep it for special occasions. It is 400 Kiwi dollars apparently. Who knows? We'll see. Well, if you're liking the content, please like, share, and subscribe. Otherwise, I'll see you in the very near future with another whiskey review. See you.